Everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Boy, we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Today is Friday, June 9th, and boy, it is just getting closer and closer to summer. We've been so lucky with some beautiful weather the last couple days, so I'm glad you guys tuning in today. 12 o'clock every day. Ocean's Pit, Monday through Friday. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we've got guests. Tuesdays, I shoot the shit with you. And Thursday, of course, my lovely co-host is my lovely wife, Laura Ocean. So a lot of fun today. We got a great guest, one of my longtime friends. She's incredible, man. She's been called, she crowned the Chicago Cabaret Queen from the Chicago Tribune, the Sun Times, the Daily Herald, Skyline, WGN, and so much more. We're talking about Denise Tomasello, absolutely the real diva queen, folks. She got a big show coming up June 11th, this Sunday. It's going to be at the Des Plaines Theater. It's going to be fantastic. Now, last year, she did a sold-out show called Judy, Liza, Barbara, and Me. Now, that was last year. So this year, she's coming back with a sequel, part two, as they would say, Frank, Dean, Tony, and Me. Of course, we're talking about Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett, and, of course, the great Denise Tomasello. That's going to be this Sunday at the Des Plaines Theater, 3 o'clock, doors open, oshows.com, and get your tickets. And we'll be bringing on Denise Tomasello very, very shortly. But in the meantime, I want to thank you all for coming out last night to Pasta Mia in Bartlett. Outside patio, I thought it was going to be a little cold, but it wasn't. Full house. It was fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. Peter and Maria and the staff do an incredible job there. Thank you, Yolanda, if you're listening, honey. Bought me that nice little, small little compact humidor for my cigars. I appreciate that, honey. You are a sweetheart. Thank you. Jerry Jams, great job as well. And Double T, Tony Toto. Even when he's a little under the weather, he's still kicking ass as always. So that was a lot of fun yesterday. Tonight we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Double T, Tony Toto. And tomorrow, Tavern on the Point, Edison Park in Edison Park, Chicago. Jerry Jams. I think we'll be upstairs on that near that rooftop. So it's going to be a lot of fun this Saturday. All right, folks, let's get right to our sponsors. Ace Hardware, Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, and Warrenville. Buy local, shop local. You know, they're always taking care of their customers, folks. U-Haul Rentals at the beautiful Norwich, Des Plaines, and Warrenville, Ace. How about they got a bunch of brand new lawn, outdoor furniture, unique lawn and garden decor, as well as flowers, vegetables, herbs, and plants. And don't forget, folks, grill your ace off and get $20 off any grill purchase. That's going to be at the Ace Hardware. You got the Weber, you got the Napoleon, all the different brands at Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, and Warrenville. Remember, that's Ace Hardware, been helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Ace Hardware, folks. And let's get right to the nitty gritty, folks. How about our good buddies from Gorelli Pavement Service? All the sponsors are at the bottom of the screen, folks. Gorelli Pavement Service. You can't beat that great people, folks. They know how to curb appeal for your home and business, largely affected by concrete and asphalt. Gorelli's there to help you keep your asphalt looking brand new with proper maintenance, which includes seal coating, crack filling, and patching. You can't beat it. They also do driveways. Call Gorelli Pavement Service, 815-271-5835. That's 815-271-5835. That's Gorelli Pavement Servicing. Servicing Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Call Laura or Barb for a free estimate and tell them Tony O sent you, folks. That's Gorelli Pavement Service. Oh, we are in such a good mood. Let's see who's watching today. Santa Barbara, California. Absolutely. We got Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, New York, Connecticut is in the house. Donnie Drama, how you doing? Joanne, hope you're doing well. Albert, what's up, my brother? I hope you're doing well. I keep screwing up with those block things. It's killing me here. Anyway, Suzanne, great seeing you last night. Suzanne Giambroni, Jackie, Johnny G. Everybody's watching today. We're having a great day because today is going to be a great show. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's June 9th, and we are excited, folks. All right. Before we bring Denise on, you know what it's about. You know, I've been pushing this for the last, 8 months or so. You know what's going to happen? January 7th through January 14th. You don't want to be here in Chicago freezing your ass off. No. You want to be on the Chicago 2024 Chicago Music Cruise ship. That's right, folks. It's going to be January 7th to January 14th, 7 nights, the Eastern Caribbean cruise. It's the Royal Caribbean Wonders of the Sea. It's the biggest ship on the water now, folks. It is 4 football fields long. We're talking about 27 different restaurants, nightclubs. It's going to be Tony Ocean in the main event band, Danny Raimondi, Tony Toto, Jerry Jams. There's going to be a lot of fun. Then my other new band, Mojo's Jukebox, kicking it in. We just opened for Chicago 2 weeks ago in Iowa. And let's not forget the number one, Richie and Seventh Heaven. It's going to be all of us on a cruise. Now, we're going to start off in Orlando, Florida. Then we're going to go to Coca Cay, Bahamas, baby, a private island. Then we're in St. Thomas and St. Martin. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com and find out. Tell them Tony O sent you. Boy, oh boy, we are excited. A lot of good stuff. And now, don't forget, folks, hope you have a great weekend. Now, starting next week, Monday and Tuesday, we'll be in the lovely Wisconsin Dells. And we're going there just for 2 days to hang, me and my lovely wife, Laura, and Nick and Phyllis Sahajas. Of course, Nick the piano man, Saint Nick, and the First Lady of Music, Phyllis. We're going to go there just kicking back for 2 days to relax. So we're going to be doing live Ocean's Pit from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin Dells. That's 2 days, next Monday and Tuesday. So live Ocean's Pit. That's going to be fun, and we'll give you a little surprise where we're going to be. It's going to be good. Next week, I'm trying to get Mary on from the cruise ship, and Richie from Seventh Heaven, if I can get them both on, and we'll talk more about the cruise stuff and past cruise, because Seventh Heaven's been doing this cruise, I think, for almost 15 years. They've been doing it a long time, and they do. We're going to get about maybe 500 people just in our, with the wristbands, because if you don't get on our cruise, book with our people, you won't be able to come to our shows. I mean, it's a big boat, a big ship, excuse me. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm still excited about that. Also, folks, we know we lost our very good friend, my good buddy Danny Raimondi, saxophone player with the main event band. His brother Frank passed away 2 days ago unexpectedly. The wake is today at Salerno's in Roselle, 3 o'clock. I'll be stopping there at 3 to give my regards. But here was a guy who was, he had diabetes. He was a little overweight. And he just had that operation where they make you thinner or whatever. And he was with his wife in the store and dropped just a heart attack. So our prayers go out to the Raimondi family. Danny, I love you, brother. Not only a great guy, but a great musician. And I will see you at 3 o'clock today. All right, folks, let's get right to Susan. Let's just say hello to some more people here. Nina, how you doing? Danny Mazzi in the house. And if you talk to Danny, then you got to say buy local, shop local with Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Tony O sent you. And don't forget Mike and Gigi from Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair. For all your collision auto repair needs, go to crashchampions.com. Now, remember, folks, the show is on every day, Monday through Friday, and it's dedicated to the first responders, all you wonderful people that help and fight for our country and make our country safe, or at least you try to. And, of course, it's dedicated to people like you who watch the show either at 12 o'clock or any other time that you watch. And now, remember, there's 5 ways of watching the show right now. The Tony Ocean Facebook page, the Mo Carraro Facebook page, which is my personal page. We're on the Ocean's Pit Facebook page. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So I'm asking all you wonderful people today to push the button and share the show. Share Ocean's Pit so you can hear the incredible Denise Tomasello story, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Lillian, I hope you had a great birthday. John, we'll see you tomorrow night. Oh, well, thank you, John. Boom, boom. Faso, that's right. Tomorrow we'll be at Tavern on the Point in Edison Park. All right. So, this woman has had a career. Tropicana, Atlantic City, Mr. Kelly's, Jilly's, New York, Chicago. I mean, she's been with them all. She's open for them all, folks. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, it just people that she's worked with, they even called her the female Dean Martin at one particular point because she is so entertaining. And she's just, when she hits that stage, folks, you notice a lot of entertainers sometimes when she hits that stage and she sings and she opens her mouth and you hear that note, the whole room goes quiet because you want to pay attention to what Denise Tomasello has to say when she opens her mouth, man. She is just fantastic. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to bring her on. I mean, come on. She shared the stage with all the, I'm just, God, it's so amazing what she's done in her career. So without any further ado, enough of me blabbing, let's get on Denise Tomasello. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Tony.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You look beautiful, by the way, and you're doing fantastic. I want to thank you for being on the show. Denise, let's get right to it. Where was Denise Tomasello born?
I was born in Chicago, and I was raised in Winston Park, which is now a part of Melrose Park, right behind the Park Plaza.
Yeah, Denise, now growing up, you have a big family?
Not really. I have two older sisters. I always like to say older, the baby of the family. And then I have, my father had 7 brothers and sisters, but my mother only had 1 brother. So I have lots of cousins on my dad's side, but I only have 1 cousin on my mother's side.
Denise, growing up in an Italian family, what was that like for some people that might not know that?
Well, I think you know that we're all so close. It's really about family, food, being together. Just, I don't know. I think it's just warm. I think that we're closer. I shouldn't want to put down any other nationalities, but
Sure,
I
right.
kind of, what do you call it? I'm kind of partial to the Italians, the way we
Yeah,
brought.
I got it. I feel the same way. Do you see, Denise? But you don't see that anymore. Families. It seems like when the grandparents pass away, it seems like it's all gone. The glue's gone.
Right, right. And I have 2 nieces, well, actually 3 nieces, and 2 great niece and a great nephew. So we're trying to build the family back up. So,
That's fantastic. Denise, when you were growing up, who influenced you? Was it someone in your family or was it someone you seen on television? How did it come to you?
well, I used to love to watch the old movie musicals. So Judy Garland, that was the number one person. I used to watch her sing and dance, and I try to copy her and run around the house and do that. And then used to watch the Dean Martin celebrity, what his TV show that he had on, and I loved watching that and seeing all the performers come on. And I used to think, oh, I'd love to do that, but I never thought I was going to actually do it professionally.
Yeah, but how did you know you had a voice? Did you just realize that yourself when you were singing into your comb or your brush in the mirror?
My mother's perfume bottle
Okay.
at,
There
at
you-
her dresser.
yeah.
We didn't have Mr. Microphone in my day.
No, no. So,
So yeah.
so who did someone tell you that you had a good voice?
Well, my sister Debbie, she wanted to play the guitar. So then I wanted to play the guitar because she played the guitar, but I wasn't any good at it at all. And she was good at playing the piano. She had a good ear for it. And so then I would kind of sing when she was playing the guitar. And then people said, "Oh, you should, you have a pretty nice voice." And I had no idea. I was like, "Really?" And so I don't know. Then I just started singing around the house, not professionally.
Sure.
My
You
sister was
remember how old you remember how old you were when you did your first professional show?
my very first professional show. I was 19 years old. I got a job with, remember the show bands like Dave Major and the Miners?
Sure. I used to love. Used to see him at Chula Vista in Wisconsin Dells. Yes.
Well, I was in a smaller one, and we were called Genesis before Phil Collins had the name.
Okay.
So a fella named John Esparza, and actually Rich Johnson is coming to my show on Sunday. John came last year. These are the guys I started with at 19.
How?
And our first gig was this gorgeous place. Do you remember the After Hours?
No, I'm sorry. It
Oh,
was a little before my time. Yeah.
I thought every job was going to be like that because it was a beautiful room. It had a waterfall. It had different levels. It was just gorgeous. That was my first job. I'd never been on stage before. And the band said, "Do you think you could front the band?" And I didn't even know what that meant. Like,
Sure.
what does that mean? And they said, "Could you introduce us? Could you introduce the band? Could you say, we're going to take a break? We're going to come back?" I thought, well, how hard could that be? So
Yeah.
I did it, and it felt so easy and natural to me. I thought, well, this is pretty much what I want to do.
You know what? And everything you've done. I mean, everywhere you've been, you New York, Chicago. I know you've played in New York for a lot too, as well. Do you like the difference? What's the difference between the audiences, in your opinion, between New York and Chicago?
Well, just like being Italian, I really love the Chicago audiences.
Yes.
So I just think Midwestern people are just so much warmer. It's I don't know. We get to know each other. I don't think you get to know your fans in New York or LA. I was lucky enough to know some fans in LA, but here it's they become your family. The
Yes.
the crowd. They hug you, they kiss you, they can't wait to see you. They they really support you.
They do come out and support you. Yeah, that's absolutely true. You're excited about this new show coming up, Frank Dean and Tony and me, coming up this Sunday at the Des Plaines Theater. Ron Onesti's got this beautiful theater in Des Plaines, 3 o'clock this Sunday. Now, you had a big success with Judy, Liza, Barbara, and me. So, what made you say, instead of just doing the same thing, you said, hell with it, I'm going to try something else? So, you did the female version. Now you're doing the male version. And what if people never got to see Denise? This show coming up, obviously it's Frank Dean and Tony. But if they come to see a regular Denise Tomasello and it's not like a theme show, what would they get?
They would get the Great American Songbook and Broadway material, all the standards. I kind of mix it up, but I don't do anything too. I don't do any pop at all. So
Yeah.
I'm old school. I really like the old material, and I just want to mention I'm going to have a 17-piece orchestra again. So that's kind of fun for people because they don't get to hear that every day. I mean, you can't really
What
go many shows and see a 17-piece orchestra.
what I admire about you, Denise, and I don't think, I mean, I've seen every other act do both. They've done the tracks, they've done the whatchamacallit. But what I love about you, you say, hell with it. If I don't have a big band behind me, I ain't playing. And you know what? That shows from the heart. And you know what? And because they're getting a whole show. I mean, they're seeing a big band behind you, and it can really just take the show and take it from from a two or three or four, or whatever, and it just boom when you got that band behind you. You know
Right.
what? When
I
it's
want to
fantastic.
show.
I mean, Lake Geneva Playboy Club, Sages. I mean, some of these places, Park West, of course, you got to love these places. Well, but let me tell you, Denise, what happened, you, in your opinion, in Chicago? What happened to all the showrooms and the lounges? What happened, you think? Why they all left Chicago?
I wish I knew the answer to that. It's really sad because we had so many places to play. I don't know if, well, you work all the time. Nobody
Yeah,
else works. You're one of the lucky ones because you're so talented.
I'm blessed on that. You're right. Absolutely.
Not, I don't know. I wish there were showrooms. I wish there were rooms where people would come and listen. And I think that all the restaurants in Chicago, like on Rush Street, remember when every single place had a piano?
Yeah,
Every place had live entertainment, and it
yeah.
just started to go away. And I don't really know why. I don't know why.
It's
Because
pretty.
people crave it. They keep telling me, where is there going to be a place that we can, come and do this again?
No, I know. And I mean, I haven't been in the city in a while. We just did that carnival, that alley that Bill Marovitz has upstairs in
Great.
that room. It's a small, intimate room. It'd be nice if he did it maybe on a regular basis. I think he only does it once a month or something. But I think that's a great room. You're watching Ocean's Pit, ladies and gentlemen. Denise Tomasello is with us. Time for a quick commercial break, folks. We are talking about Roy McCampbell, attorney at law. If you're looking for a great lawyer, folks, that's right. Roy McCampbell, a statewide law practice that is client focused and results driven. Call Roy McCampbell at 708 275 4264. How about my wife's company, Laura Ocean Solutions? Increasing profits or reducing credit card fees. You'll never have to shop again with Laura Ocean Solutions. And let's not forget Deutsch Power Center out of Elgin, Illinois, servicing the construction and diesel industry in Chicago for the last 100 years. That's Deutsch Power Center, 224 276 6550. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the incredible diva herself, Denise Tomasello, is in the house. She has her big show happening this Sunday at the Des Plaines Theater. That's June 11th. 3 o'clock show starts. Oshows.com for tickets. Mr. Kelly's, the documentary that was out there, very well put. did a great job in that. Jilly's. What can you, if these people never been to places like that, Denise? How can you explain to someone who's never been to those kind of places?
Well, I would say it's intimate, just the right amount of people. It you don't talk. It's a listening room. There's the focus is on the entertainer and the music, and most of them are supper clubs. So you could have dinner before the show, and then the show comes on. So one you could go to one place and have dinner and a show. I don't think they do that anymore. You have to go somewhere else for dinner and then go to a show.
Yeah, I remember like the Sardine Club. Remember they would actually come and tell you, shh,
Right.
if you were talking while, and I noticed in New York when we play out there a few times, that's got the same mentality out there. Maybe because they're so close to Broadway, they still kind of keep that up like that in New York compared to Chicago.
Yes, I think you're absolutely correct. I think that the New York audiences are really more used to live entertainment. Now,
Yeah,
fortunately, here, like we said, those nightclubs have gone away, so people can't experience them anymore. Young people don't even know what that is.
they have no clue.
They know the
Tropicana, yeah, you're right, Denise. They have no clue. Tropicana, Atlantic City, Las Vegas. I mean, if people go there now, they have no clue what it used to be like.
right,
The baseball caps are
right.
backwards, the gym shoes, sandals, and the socks. I mean, right? I mean, come on.
I
What?
can
I mean,
remember
did you have fun playing out there?
right, we had to have the best outfits for every part of the day and night. Everyone was
Yeah.
dressed to the nines.
Now you opened for so many different talented people. Do you remember who? Did you have a favorite?
I think my favorite was Jackie Mason.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
And did you get any? I remember when I opened for Don Rickles, and I know you did too with Don Rickles and Pat Cooper, and he just passed away, Pat Cooper. But Don Rickles says, Tony, remember one thing. You know, they ask you if you get one agent. He goes, never get with one agent unless they can guarantee you a certain amount of work. That's why he went out. But did you get any advice from any of those celebrity stars that you opened up for when you were there
Um,
that you can
well,
remember?
Jackie Mason, I think he pretty much said the same thing. He says, if an agent is going to get you a job, don't turn it down because then you can open up a whole new relationship with someone else and that could lead to someone else. So I do think that. And he was really, really nice to me. He gave me equal billing at the Tropicana because, and I get there and there's my name on the big marquee. And I was like, no, opening acts don't really get that.
No, and Denise, that's another question I was going to ask you. I mean, you started, and back in the day, even in the '70s and '80s. Well, I don't know much. So maybe even the '80s too. It was harder for women to get that break. Did you having any of those problems when you first started?
The casting couch. I'm kidding.
You know
Uh,
what I mean? Yeah,
I think that, yeah, I think women have it a little harder because sometimes whoever you're dealing with, they kind of hit on you or they have a crush on you. Where a man, they're just dealing with a man. And so it's a little different because I think that women still, especially back then, now women are treated more equally, even in the
sure.
business place.
Yeah.
Back then, I think you were the chick singer, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Did you ever open for another? Because I notice it's always a man will open for a woman, and a woman will open for a man, or vice versa. Did you ever have anything like that where maybe one of the other female artists, says, "Oh, I don't want her opening for me," because they get a little scared sometimes, if you know what I mean, intimidated.
I think women are definitely don't want to be with another woman. I think you're right on that one. I don't think any woman wants another woman to open for her.
I think that's true. I mean, crowned, yeah, crowned Chicago's cabaret queen. Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, Daily Herald, Skyline, WGN. I mean, the list goes on and on. Uh, do you consider yourself a cabaret singer, even though when you're playing these theaters now with a big orchestra, you still have that in your heart?
That's my roots. When I first started, I started in that band, like I told you. But then I was discovered and brought down to Sages, which I had that room for 6 years, and I became a chanteuse. And then after becoming a chanteuse, I wanted to do a room that was cabaret. So then I did like trio. And I still don't, I really still love working with trio. And I'll do a intimate room like Davenport's, where it only holds like 80 people. And that's fun because everybody's really close to you, and it's a different thing. So that's really more cabaret than the big stage. Yes,
And
definitely.
Denise, keeping yourself, and I've known you for a long time, as a woman, as an Italian woman, keeping yourself slim and looking the way you do. I mean, is there a secret? What do you? What's your? Let's put it this way. What's your? Was there breakfast, lunch, dinner? How does it work with you? And what do you eat? I mean, give us some tips here. I mean, you looking incredible. How do you do it?
Well, actually, I don't exercise, even though I met my husband in a health club.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just feel little carbs. As much as I love pasta, I don't let myself indulge too much. But my biggest secret is I don't go in the sun. So I haven't been in the sun since I'm 23 years old.
And
So
that helps.
I
Yeah.
tell all these young girls, I have a young girl who works for me. I have my young nieces. I said, stay out of that sun. As beautiful as you think it makes you look now, you'll be very sorry when you get
Well,
older.
you just spoke of your husband, of course, the great Don. What a great man he was, and very good friend he was. He was a great man. But going into this business when you were traveling a lot, there had to be a lot of. How did you keep relationships? Because everybody had to be. I mean, I'm on wife number 4. So Denise, it was hard because this wife Laura has. She understands me, but the other one's always like, Where you going?" And everybody's trying to. You can't be mean to somebody. You can't. You have to mingle. You have to do it. How did you keep it? Was it hard for you trying to play every night at these places, people grabbing you and all this stuff? I mean, I hate to, that's the way it happens.
Right. People used to always ask me, how come you didn't get married? Why didn't you get married? Well, you as a man working in a club, a woman will sit there and wait for you to the end of the night. Me as a woman, a man would get impatient and like, wow, I got to wait for her every night. She's not free on Saturday. She's not free. So relationships didn't go as smoothly for me. And that's why until I really kind of stopped working, I wasn't, and it wasn't my choice. It was the room started dwindling. So I wasn't tied up every weekend. And that's
Sure.
where I got to develop the relationship with my husband because I was free for weekends. And that
Yeah.
was like the first time in my life. Because, I work Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing your thing. Let's talk. I mean, you knew Frank Sinatra Jr. Obviously.
Yeah, well,
Um,
dated. So
that
we
was
get
yes.
there.
Now, I know you got to get that question all the time. First of all, did you ever meet Dean or Frank?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, were you a Dean Martin fan or a Frank Sinatra or both?
I swear when I was little, I was a Dean Martin fan because I had a big crush on him. I found him the most handsome. And then as I got older and started listening to more Frank, but my mother only played male singers around the house. We hardly had a woman, you know, album in the house.
Yeah.
Then I started to really appreciate Frank Sinatra, and I thought then he was handsome. But my big love was Dean Martin.
Yeah, you know what? It seemed like Dean didn't really put a lot of effort into it. It looks like he just got up and he's saying, I mean, everybody looked like, I mean, there was something that you always hear. All the men wanted to hang with Dean, the women wanted to be with Dean. It's like Dean didn't want all that attention. He was the type of guy who wanted to do his show and then go home and just relax, golf and watch his westerns. I mean, you know the story, obviously, that Frank threw Dean Martin a 50th birthday party at his house, and it's a closed gated community. And about like 10 o'clock, cops came to the door. And Frank opened the door, and the cops. He goes, "Who called the cops? This is a gated community. Everybody's invited." Dean was upstairs. He called the cops. He said, "Everybody, I fed you, I drank, now everybody out." He said, "Get out of my house." So, but Dean was so great. But now Frank Sinatra Jr., knowing him as well as he did, I mean, that had to be tough growing up because he has a great voice. Had a
Yes,
great voice. Did he struggle? He had that struggle with always being compared to his dad, correct?
I could see it. I could definitely see it. He did not have the confidence his father had, and I could see when he was conducting for his father, you could see that he was intimidated, and he didn't really like. He was way more reserved than his dad. He
Yeah.
was more serious.
Did they have a good relationship? Denise?
I don't think in the beginning. I think because he was traveling so much and he ignored Frank Jr. growing up, and I think Frank Jr. resented that. And then when he started conducting with him, I think that's when he really started to get to know his father, and
I
that
mean,
he
there was even the rumor that he faked that kidnapping just to get his father's attention. You heard about that. I don't know if that's true or
I,
not, but
he's
um,
yeah, he said he didn't fake it. He said he remembers being in a behind a bush and he found a big stone and he was get when they dropped him off, to return him to his family. And he said he remembered he was looking for a weapon in case they came back. And he claims that that was not a gimmick. That was not a publicity stunt.
I mean, but he still, when he went out, he still, I mean, if you're going to get it, when he was singing, I mean, he sounded just like his dad, my God, which
Yeah,
is a good thing and a curse too. You
right. I
know, it was like,
don't think
I mean,
anybody famous son or daughter. No, it's a tough road to go.
I don't know any, Denise, there's not that many daughters or sons who've made it famous compared to their father or mother. I mean, I think the farthest one I think had to be Liza Minnelli. I
I was
think
just
she made it pretty good for herself
only one that really could be as famous as their mother.
as her mom.
Yeah.
The great Denise Tomasello, her big show coming up this Sunday, June 11th at the Des Plaines Theater. Oshows.com for tickets. It's called Frank, Dean, and Tony and Me. This time it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get a couple. I'm going to throw some names of singers and tell me what you think of their opinion. Let's go right to Liza Minnelli. What did you think of her as a vocalist when
I
she's up
love
there?
her energy, and then she dances. So she puts another element in there. She's really so energetic. She's got such a powerful voice, great charisma, and the dancing. She's a complete entertainer.
We just got my good friend Candy Cundiff. Kathy, how you doing? Says my husband Don, it's her husband Don, booked the guys that kidnapped him. So her husband was a police officer. So he's the one that caught the two guys who actually kidnapped Frank Sinatra Jr. That's very interesting, Kathy. Always great to know. Anthony Santangelo says hello. Denise, I've got to love our good buddies, Anthony from Trico Hair Experts in Rosemont, Illinois. Let's go to Edie Gourmet.
I loved Edie. I loved her. Her voice was really pure and effortlessly. She could just sing, and it looked like she was just sitting there reading a magazine. It was so easy for her.
She never looks like she really got her due, right? Is it
I
because she never went solo, you think, or
I think that was part of it. I think that maybe there were women who were sexier, and um, she she didn't have that look that some of the other people had in that era, where they were
same
like,
thing? Yeah, same thing as Keely Smith. Did you like her as a singer?
yes, and see, she had that sexiness.
Yeah. Let's go to Barbara Streisand.
I think Barbara has the most beautiful voice, even compared to everybody today. I don't think there'll ever be another Barbara Streisand. I think she's the number one most beautiful voice and so talented in every single thing, like directing and writing and all of that. I just think there's no one like her.
Denise, how about that she was actually stage fright? For a lot of times, they said she had to sing with her back to the audience. Is that true?
I heard that too. I heard she was afraid of being shot on stage, that's why she didn't want to do any more public appearances, that she became really intimidated by a live audience. And then, oh, thank God somebody
She
helped her.
started came back. Denise, 2020 of March, COVID-19 hits. You hear about it. Restaurants, bars, no more singing, no more this for a while. What was your first thought when you heard about this? First for the musicians, because nobody was working, at least not the big bands. You know what I mean? What was your first thought about that whole situation?
I was in shock. I never thought we would ever experience anything like that. And I never thought we would be quarantined to our homes and wearing masks and all that. I really felt sorry for the industry, all the restaurants suffering. And like you said, the musicians, the actors. I mean, the people that could work remotely from home in the office world, the business world, um, they weren't as affected, but the musicians and restaurant business were hugely.
Yeah. It was a big suffering for everybody. Denise, when they come and see your show this time, Frank, Dean, and Tony and me, is there a particular song that's going to stand out that you really love performing, or maybe not that particular show? How about a Denise Tomasello show in general? Is your favorite song that you can't wait to sing?
Yikes, everybody asks me that all the time. I think,
Good.
and I want to add this, that I am going to still do, even though I'm doing a tribute to the men, there'll still be Barbara and Liza and Judy songs in the second half, so
Right.
that people that are fans of the women are still going to get their favorite songs.
Okay, so they're going to get a little bit of everything. So let's, guys, we're just hearing this for the, yeah. So it's not just going to be Frank, Dean, and Tony and me. First part, the second part will be the songs of Judy, Liza, and Barbara. That's fantastic too.
And her
Uh, Denise, I know you're busy, but I got to ask you now. You look at that song list, and you say to yourself, "Oh no, this song is coming. I have to sing it, even though I don't want to." But you know what I mean? Is there any of those songs that sometimes, like when I look at my set list, and Dance Amore comes on, or Kick in the Head, I just go crazy. You know what I mean? Do you have any like that, or you just happy to be singing those songs?
I don't work as often as you do, so actually,
Okay.
I'm thrilled to sing any song. I love all the songs that I picked throughout my career. I never pick songs that I did not like, and I didn't really get sick of any of them unless I had to play them 2 or 3 times in a night. Then that was
Then
different,
you'd
but
get sick of them. Yeah,
I always pick
absolutely.
songs I'm in love with. Yeah.
Denise, I'm going to throw a couple other singers at you, which is maybe not in your realm, but they are female. What do you think of Adele? Do you like any of her stuff?
I honestly could probably not even name an Adele tune.
Me either. So I'm glad we're the first two, probably. How about are you a fan of Lady Gaga?
Yes, actually, I am. I think she's very talented, and
Yeah.
I did go out to Las Vegas to see her, and she did it with an orchestra, and she did all the songs. She did "Luck Be a Lady," she did "Mambo Italiano," she did a lot of the stuff that you would see the old school singers, and it was
Yeah,
really.
man, I know she did duet with did an album I think with Tony Bennett too as well.
I don't like her new stuff. That's not me. I don't
Yeah.
like all of that, but so I should say half and half. I don't like
What
the newer material.
Sure. Let's get three more singers. Were you a Bette Midler fan?
Love Bette Midler. And plus she's the most entertaining and she's so hilarious,
Yeah,
along with having a great voice. She is really.
absolutely.
I tell all my friends that are in the business, if they're new in the business, I said, you have to see Bette Midler. It'll really, show you what a real entertainer is.
What about let's go to Cher?
I loved Cher's TV show. I'm not sure I was ever a fan of her singing. Um, I I saw her twice in concert, and she did a great job, and her costumes were great. But I don't think I'd ever put a Cher album on. But
And
I did.
I heard that most of the show, the 90 minutes, whatever it was, she's changing more clothes than she's actually singing.
You want to
Right,
go for
right.
a fashion show? That's the show.
That's the show. There you go. Last but not least, how about Celine Dion? Were you a Celine Dion fan?
I think so. Yeah, I was because she was close. She was trying to be the next Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
She was singing that type of material before they go off into this other pop world, and they start with the standards. And like when she was a little girl, her manager was then turned into her husband. He had her doing the Barbara Streisand things, and yes, I did think she has an amazing voice. But
Uh,
I like again, I wouldn't buy a pop album of
How
hers.
about someone? Jeanette keeps asking, were you a Connie Francis fan?
Yes, Connie Francis. Yes,
You
she
gotta
had
love that.
great voice. I think she kind of underrated, like today. I don't
Yeah.
think people really think about her, and she was spectacular. Really, another one with an angelic voice but power.
Yeah, she had a great. A lot of people just remember now as Bobby Darin's wife.
Oh,
You know
right.
what I mean? It wasn't like, yeah, right. She's fantastic. When you're about to sing your warm up, is there a tea? Is there a glass of wine? Anything that gets you going while you're singing?
I like to have Crevassier. I like J.R.
Nothing but the best for the
Right,
Queen.
right.
Absolutely. You got to
Well,
love that.
yeah.
Um, all right, Denise, this is the last one because I know you're very busy. Number one, folks, Denise Tomasello. Her big show coming up this Sunday, June 11th, Displains Theater, 3 o'clock show, oshows.com. Frank, Dean, Tony, and me. First part of the show. Second part of the show will be Judy, Liza, Barbara, and me. Denise Tomasello. It's some young girl or boy come up to you these days and say, Denise, can you tell me some advice? Would you recommend them to get into this field?
Hmm. If they were my relative, I'd say no. But it's a tough life. I mean, it's not as easy as people think. It's so fun when you're on the stage, but you never know where your next job is coming from. It's always, there's no 401k, there's no health insurance. You have to think about those things before you get into it. I think I never wanted to be a Broadway star. I never wanted to go through all that auditioning. If they have the stamina to do that and they want to live that way, I'd say go for it. But I think you have to think out all the things before you put all your eggs in one basket and say, I want to be a Broadway star, because you have to give up a lot of your life. You have to really do that. And I wasn't
And
willing to
well,
do
that's great advice. That's fantastic, and it's true. People say the same thing. They come out to me, "Hey, how do I do this?" I agree with you. And this is the last question I always ask all my guests.
Okay.
If you've met a lot of celebrities, and now you don't have to get into details, but was there one that you were like completely like at awe when you met?
I would probably have to say Frank Sinatra.
Frank
That was
Sinatra.
the most, I mean, he was the biggest legend I knew. And, he was really nice. And looking in his eyes, everybody talks about those blue eyes.
He
It,
was, yeah,
it was looking like into an ocean. And it was just, and he's not super tall. So that was
right.
kind of,
You know,
he
he
looked,
wore the lips. They say he
yeah,
wore the lips. Yeah, right.
no, he was
You're looking in Frank's eyes, right? Right,
look,
exactly. Was there anyone, and of course now, since I gave you the positive one, was there anybody that rubbed you maybe the wrong way when you met him? And now probably most of these people are all passed away, so you probably won't hurt anybody's feeling. Anybody that rubbed you the wrong way?
oh
Or that
God.
wasn't that nice? Because a lot of people, I'm surprised. A lot of people tell me when I ask certain people, Kevin Costner, they said wasn't nice. Was there anybody that you bumped into? It was like you thought would be really cool and end up being a real jerk or a bitch or not in those kind of words.
I could say this, but I don't know if I'll regret it. It wasn't the entertainer, it was the wife. It was Robert Goulet's wife, not
Okay, okay, all right.
it,
So it had to be a little jealousy, obviously, right?
she was not so nice.
Ah, that's fantastic, Denise. Is there anything that people should know about you that I didn't ask? Anything that you're coming up? You have any recordings out that people can
No,
purchase your stuff?
I don't. I've
Is
never,
that
like
next?
I keep wanting to do it. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I I start the project, then I get away from it. I'm not as disciplined in that area. I love performing live. So for me to go in a studio,
How about doing a live? How about getting some cameras at your shows and release a DVD of the concert?
okay.
I think
Yeah.
that would be fantastic. Denise Tomasello, first of all, thank you for your time. You are a dear friend, and thank you. You come out. You know what I love about you, Denise? You still go out and support local entertainers, and I got to say so much because you can go to a lot of different places, and you even come out to the suburbs to see me. I really do appreciate it very much. The great Denise Tomasello, folks. Don't forget this Sunday, June 11th, Displays Theater. It's going to be great. You're going to get a little Frank, Dean, Tony, and me, of course, Denise Tomasello. And then, of course, the second half will be Judy and me. It's a great cabaret old style show that you got to keep with a 17-piece orchestra. That's not two guys up there sounding like a 17-piece. No, it's actually 17 people dressed up in tuxedos, old
Right.
school, Vegas style. Displays Theater, Ron Onesti, Denise Tomasello, the Cabaret Queen. Remember, folks, voted the Cabaret Queen. Tribune, Chicago, Sun-Times, Daily Herald, Skyline, WGN says she's the best. She is the best. Denise Tomasello, God bless you for your time. Thank you so
I
much.
want to thank you, Tony. We've known each other for so long, and I am a huge fan of yours. You know that.
You and my mother. Thank you so much.
I am. I truly am, and I want to thank Ron Onesti for having me back at the Des Plaines Theater because it's really a prestigious honor.
It
And
is.
I love you. You've been a great, great friend. And this
Thank
was
you
some
so much.
fun. I don't, I've never been on a podcast before. So
Well, this is fun. You should be a lot more because you got the face and the voice. You're the best. Thank you, Denise Tomasello. Everybody, don't forget, last minute, June 11th, this Sunday, Des Plaines Theater, oshows.com. Doors open at 3 o'clock, so it'll be an early show. You won't be out too late. Des Plaines Theater. Thank you so much, Denise Tomasello. Ladies and gentlemen, Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. Let's get to a quick sponsor, folks. That's right, Trico Hair Experts out of Rosemont, Illinois. Anthony Santangelo and Carmela, 773-999-7888. Let's not forget our good buddies from Don Esteban Cigars, Tarpon Springs, Florida. Get those hand-rolled cigars and send them right over to your house. Come, Javier, 272-366. 5736. Now, we still got some time here, folks. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. The great Denise Tomasello. I love having guests on from the heart. She speaks from the heart. She sings from the heart. They don't make them like that. They don't make the old school anymore. And then when you see her, you never think she's old school. I mean, she looks like she's still 40 years old. I don't even know how old she is. She's just beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you, Johnny G. Captain in the house. Let's get to some stuff, folks. So we got some birthdays. How about that? Some birthdays. Let's go out with one of my favorite. People ask me who my favorite female rock and roll singer is. The great Bonnie Tyler. I love that raspy voice of hers. It's her birthday today, Bonnie Tyler. Mark Wahlberg. What a great actor. I met the gentleman once. Nice guy. He goes all around speaking of God. He's really into religion and everything. Family man. You never hear anything bad about this guy. And he's a great actor. Mark Wahlberg celebrates a birthday. Nancy Sinatra is 83 years old. Who would have thought these boots are made for walking? 83 years old. Nancy Sinatra, of course, the daughter of the late Francis. She's fantastic, and her husband was such a great gentleman. David Joseph Don was a great gentleman and a great guy. And thank you for your nice words, kind words, David. I just met David Joseph. I seen him Wednesday at my show at Capri. Great seeing you, David. Thank you for those nice words. Frank Nino, how you doing, brother? Ryan Lewis, hope you're doing well. Joan Rivers turns 90 years old. The Queen, we had the Queen Diva on the show, and the Queen of Mean, of course, is Joan Rivers, 90 years old. Speaking of musicals, the Music Man Robert Preston celebrates a birthday. Comedian actor Bill Hader celebrates a birthday. Another singer in the Chicagoland area, Irene Michaels, celebrates a birthday. She was on a show a couple days ago. She's got a show coming up in July at the Carnival Alley on July 12th. Irene Michaels, happy birthday. How about the great Michael J. Fox? Another great actor, Parkinson's disease. How horrible, folks. 6 million people in the world have Parkinson's disease. 6 million people. Horrible. Parkinson's. And Donald Duck, that's right, one of our favorite cartoons, turns 89 years old. Donald Duck, ladies and gentlemen. We got to have all the great stuff happening. Tony Toto, hope you're feeling better, buddy. Your tummy. And you know what? He played his butt off yesterday, even not feeling good. And he's working with me tonight. Tony Toto tonight, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Tomorrow, Jerry Jams, Tavern on the Point. For all you baseball fans, Detroit Tigers fans, Roger Craig, their manager, died today. Our prayers go out to the Roger Craig family. Today is National VCR Day. Who still has a VCR? I still do. Happy National Ice Cream Day. For all you, chocolate's my favorite. People ask me these questions, folks. How about it? And today, for all you wrestling fans, June 8th, 1982, Vince McMahon bought the WWF from his father, Vince McMahon Sr., for $1 million back in 1982. And I couldn't tell you how much, what that's got to be worth. What that's got to be worth, I have no idea, but unbelievable as it is, folks. I love this quote. Stop petting my Peeves. You got to love that, folks. I love it. And Albert's got 2 VCRs. So there you go. Greg from Taverna on Division, voted the #1 outside patio in the suburbs of Chicago. People might try to copy it, but no one's ever going to have Taverna on Division, folks, in Melrose Park. Check it out. And the Joint right next door with their nice new outside balcony as well. All right, folks, good news for all you minimum wage. Illinois is supposed to be going up again. Before the end of the year, minimum wage will be going up. I don't know how much, but it will be going up. Concerts coming up next week. Wednesday, June 14th, will be at Lisa's Club Cabaret in Norwich. On June 15th, we will be returning to Venuti's in Addison. That is with the Main Event Band. June 16th will be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse on Friday. And the 17th will be at Ron Onesti's Club Arcada Speak Easy with the Main Event Band, oshows.com, Saturday, June 17th. And don't forget Mars Resort, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, 1 year and 100-year anniversary on Thursday, June 22nd. $125 a person. It's going to be at the Riviera Ballroom, downtown Lake Geneva. Doors open at 4:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. $125 per person gets you the show, all the food you can eat, all the booze you can drink, and your free ferry rides. I can't even call it that anymore. Free boat rides on the ship, on the boat in Lake Geneva. It's going to be fun. Go to Mars.com and get tickets for the 100th anniversary of Mars. All right, folks. Karen Dean, she's a fan and friend. She mentioned something on her page. Meat. She went into, I think it was Jewel, and she went to purchase meat, ground beef or whatever kind of meat it was. And there was a sticker on it that said imported, an orange sticker that says imported, which means what's imported probably costs more. But then the thing is, it doesn't tell you what country it's from. Why? Makes a lot of sense. I'm going to buy beef, and if it says imported, I want to know where it's from. It could be imported from Stone Park for some alleyways, and you can be eating cat for all you know. If it's coming from China, where's it coming from, this imported meat? And it costs more money just because it has that imported sticker on there. So, Karen, good point. Ryan Lewis, what's up, honey? KJ, what's going on? Jody Bowen, hope you had a nice birthday, Jody. Hope to see you soon, hon. Anyway, so, yeah, right, where's this meat coming from? Where's this meat coming from? Another thing that really irks me, folks, trying to get a real person on the telephone. It's always a recording. Oh, if it's not a recording, then it's somebody up there. Please. And you're not going to get that anymore. Or if you're going to get somebody, how about someone speaking English? I don't want to get upset here. And I think I mentioned this before. It's probably becoming an old story. But I want to talk to somebody, at least understand the language with me. Where's the beef, Johnny G? Yeah, where's the beef? Remember Carol, what was her name? Carla Peller or whatever her name was. Where's the beef? But that was for Wendy's, wasn't it? This sounds like a poor operating establishment. There you go. There you go, Albert. It was Costco, Albert. Costco. It gets you too, don't it, Frank? If you do that, you don't speak English. It's frustrating when they don't understand, they don't speak the language. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but come on here, folks. Folks, anybody remember this address? 4364 South Archer Avenue. Back in 1962, it was the very first and only hamburger chain in Chicago, White Castle. It was the very first, before McDonald's, before Burger King, Wendy's, and all these other burger franchise. 4364 South Archer Avenue, White Castle in Chicago, 1962. Oh, Taylor Swift again making news. If it wasn't her outrageous prices for her concerts, if it wasn't that she swallowed a bug on stage, now, folks, that some of these fans, after seeing their show, they have post-concert amnesia. Are you hearing this? Now, remember when people, the Beatles and Elvis, they would faint? So, Taylor Swift fans, after the concert, people are suffering from post-concert amnesia. I don't remember anything. That means they're either smoking something or drinking so much. Priceless. There you go. Boyd, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, sliders. Good going in, bad coming out. All right, folks. You can't make this shit up, folks. I was at CVS, and you walk past these the aisles of all the merchandise, and they have a display. I was passing, and it says Trojan rubbers or Trojan, and underneath the sign, it says, "Please do not open or try on product before purchasing." You can't make this shit up, folks. It's like it was a sign in the toilet. Sit down. They said, make sure you sit on the toilet over and not sitting on it. I mean, what is it with these signs? Do not try on the rubber before you buy it. What is wrong with these people? Who's the idiot that gave the order to make that sign? How about the idiot who's got to put that sign up? I mean, it starts from the top, these idiots. Please do not try the rubber before you buy it in the store. Can't make this shit up, folks. And I love this quote, and I tell you all this. Live your life, not your age. Live your life, not your age. And I can say it now, years old. Wait till you get 70 or 80. That's not true, because I'm going to tell you something. I've got the best fans in the world. And not only their fans, a lot of these people became friends of mine. And they're over 60. And some of them are over 70. And they're out 3 to 4 nights a week, cabareting, cocktailing, dancing, having a great time. They still think they're back in the back when they were younger. So don't give me that shit because I'm older, I can't do this anymore, or I can't go out at night, or that's too far, or it's going to rain, or it's going to snow. Listen, I work 5 nights a week, sometimes 6. And my audience, we know, is a little older. And we know that they're the best audience in the world. Because I'm going to tell you something. Even on winter nights, when I'm playing sometimes in storms, people are still out to the gigs. So live your life. Forget your age. Age is nothing, man. You're never too old. What's wrong with that? Well, there you go. Okay, now there's a different story, Robert, the General. I'm not talking about trying jeans on or shirts on or a jacket on or shoes. When you buy a pair of shoes, you got to try them on. But we're talking about rubbers here, folks. What are you going to do? Put it on, take it off, fold it up, and put it back in the package? Someone asked me, Tony, can you be, if you get a chance to be a dad, would you be a dad again? Unfortunately for me, I'm a stepdad, and our kids are way bigger. My only regret was I probably wish I had kids. And if I didn't have kids, I wish I might have been around when these kids were smaller. Our kids were smaller. You know, that's something I miss. You know, to be able to go to the zoo or go to the Great America or take the kids out. So I'm hoping Nina, or now that she got married, maybe hopefully she's going to have a kid soon. Maybe she can spend a little time with Grandpa. And then Marissa and Gianna, of course, or Tony and Joey, whatever is going to happen with them and their families whenever they come up together. I mean, Tony's in a serious relationship. Marissa, of course, is with Nico for people that come and that know the family. Gianna's still out there. Joey's still out there. But the point I'm trying to say is that's going to be a whole different thing. And I can see that they might be a little leery. My kids might be my stepkids. My kids are going to be a little leery. But Albert, I go to the zoo by myself. I love the zoo, so I do a lot of kid stuff myself. You know that. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm sure they're a little leery. I know my wife probably in the back of her mind, and my whole family, we understand that they can spend a little time with Grandpa every day, but not too much time with Grandpa every day. Because, I'm going to try to, you don't know what comes out of my mouth. Cigars. Next thing you know, they'll be learning about dinosaurs, building models. I don't know. So I can understand the swear words probably coming out of his mouth, teaching the first word will be Jack Daniels or Brandon, I don't know. Let's go. Brandon will be the first words. So I can understand it can be a little leery, not spending too much time with Grandpa. But that's the question someone asked me. I would wish I can do it, and I wish the kids were younger. We are at the end of the hour, folks. I wish we had more time, but we don't. I want to thank you all for watching, everybody. I want to thank the great, incredible Denise Tomasello. What a great job she did. It's going to be great. Her show this Sunday is going to be at the Des Plaines Theater. Oshows.com for tickets. 3:00 show. It's Frank, Dean, Tony, and me. That's the first part of her show. Tribute to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett. And then the second part of her show is going to be Judy, Barbara. And so you're going to get a little bit of everybody. Liza. So please support Denise Tomasello, 17-piece band. It's going to be great. They know all the standards and the nursery songs. There you go. Absolutely, Becky. Anyway, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Michelle. But Michelle, you know me pretty well. My mouth could be a little like if I'm changing her diaper, I'll be like this with a cigar lit. All right, where does this tape go? So I don't know. I'm excited whenever that happens. Knock on wood. Nina, Eric, if you're listening, I love you. Anyway, let's get to our sponsors, folks. That's right. The last two sponsors of the night, Patriot Funding Incorporated. They're out of Roselle, Illinois. Dave Antonelli, commercial money lending at its finest when timing is everything. 630-675-4730. And let's not forget our good friends from, that's right, Ace Hardware, Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park in Warrenville. They got all the best stuff. Looking to spice up your food and grill? Check out their spices, rubs, and sauces to add your flavor to your barbecue feast. How about tuning up that lawnmower? Tune-up start at $105 plus parts. They are your neighborhood powerhouse. And don't forget, folks, download the Ace Rewards app, an easy way to keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. That's Ace Hardware. They were helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Ace Hardware. Thank you, Raffaello, Jackie, Melissa. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. We are at the end of the hour. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, folks, my good buddy, if you all know Danny Ramundi, our sax player, his brother Frank passed away. Today is the wake. Salerno's, if you're in the area, on Lake Street in Roselle, 3 to 9. Everybody, remember one thing. Keep supporting local establishments and live entertainment. Buy local and shop local. Tonight will be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg with Double T, 8:00. And tomorrow, Tavern on the Point, Edison Park, Chicago. Last show there of the season. So I'm only there because I got no other dates to give them. So that's tomorrow, 8:00 with Jerry Jams. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. Peace and love. Be kind to everybody, folks. It's a tough world out there, but we're going to make it. Keep listening to music, baby. Music, music, music. Have a great weekend, folks. Remember, we'll be back Monday and Tuesday live from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin with the First Lady of Music, Phyllis the Hodges, and the St. Nicholas the Piano Man, and of course, lovely Laura Ocean. We'll be coming in live Monday and Tuesday live from Wisconsin Dells. Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. Nick Hodges, the Piano Man. Take us out, my brother.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.